Hello and welcome to Tip of the Week by CAD Tech Seminars. My name is Ken Colgan, and today we'll cover topography using cut and fill to balance a site. Now, if you want to find us on the web, you can check us out at thebimguys.com, or at the bottom of the screen you'll see the revitguys.com, or the official company name, which is cadtechseminars.com. All of those work to check us out. Now, let's jump in. We have a site that I produced a few minutes ago, just so we had something to start with. And all I did, I went up to the topo surface tool, I selected it, and then using place points, I placed points in here to make that happen. Now, if you're creating a topography or a topo map, what you can do is use either place points or create from an import. If you actually have a CAD 3D model that the surveyor sent you, go ahead and select import instance, and you can select on that CAD file if it's linked in, and Revit will create the topo from it, which is awesome. You can also use a points file. If you can get the topo surface information based on points from the civil engineer, it will suck it in just like their software does. So some good stuff here, but that's for another video. Let's jump back in and talk about cutting and filling. So we had to finish on this. Now here we are. Now you'll notice that when I take this guy here and I look at it, it doesn't look like much. If you want to change the look and feel of it, a couple things we can do. First off, we'll go up top, and under Massing and Site, you'll see under Model Site there's a little arrow drop down here. It's kind of small. I'll pick on it. You'll notice that it says contour lines at intervals, start, stop, and you have these different aspects we can set up. You'll see it says primary and then it says secondary. I can actually change these contour line types. I'll say secondary contours. I hit apply on that, and we hit OK. Now, if we zoom in, looks like we're not seeing anything there, so let's go back and try something different. The line work might not be changed in this model, so I'm going to say change it to hidden lines. I hit apply on that, and you can see how the main ones are set up one way and the primaries are a different way. So it's one way for you to adjust this. You can also adjust the increments. You can say, well, how about every 5 feet? Okay, 5 feet. And at this point we hit apply on that, and you'll see how it changes the numbers. So I have a solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solid. So we adjust how these things set up. So you can adjust this however you like. How deep do you want the earth? 10 feet. I'll take a look at that right now. I'm going to cut a section through here. And when I cut the section and we go to it, you'll notice that the actual grading, change the size a little bit here. Scale, let's say something maybe 1/8 inch. Notice how the lines come down to -10 feet. If I was to put a dimension here, that's what that sets up for. Now let's go look at it in 3D. When we look in 3D, you'll notice that, hey, it looks kind of cool. Got the line work there. It's kind of nifty Kino. Now, one thing is it still looks flat like a plate. So I'm going to come over here and change it to, let's say, shaded. You'll notice it has a shading to it. Now it just looks like a chocolate plate. Again, it's just like crumpled tinfoil. What we want to do is give it a sense of volume to show the client. So I'm going to come over here and make a minor adjustment to the view. I'm going to turn on section box. Now when I turn the section box, I hit here and I drag in a little bit, and you'll see how it actually clips to site a little bit. Drag it a little further, clips to site, drag it a little further, and I'm going to walk this around. You'll notice how it's really not doing anything. I mean, if I look under, it still looks like a piece of tinfoil, but it actually looks good from out here. So I make the side usually a little bigger than I need it to be, and then I come back and I kind of crop it back in this way. Now I'm actually going to pull it down, and you'll notice that it gives that feeling of volume. So just kind of a neat little trick if you want to show something there. Now the last thing we'll do is turn off that section box. Right click, hide in view, element of category. It doesn't really matter there. So there it is. If we adjust the scale, you'll notice that the graphics adjust. I'll go to 16th, and you'll notice that, see the patterns on the outside? Notice how they adjusted. So okay, so here it is. Here's our site. Like, okay, so far we haven't talked about grading and cut and fill, and we haven't. So let's go ahead and make go ahead and do that. I'm gonna grab this site. First of all, it's the existing site, right? So we have to tell it that when was this created? It was created in existing. When was it demolished? Currently none, but we could say during new construction, okay? Because we're gonna put a new site in. Now it's red here just so we can see the visual. I'm gonna go back to the site plan. Now here is the existing site. It's all dashed now. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna use this tool. Well, actually grab the tool first. Graded region. Now let's cancel out of that. Create new topo surface exactly like the existing one. Now I click on it. Now this one was existing, right? Now I'm going to grab this one. It's new. it built another one directly on top of it. Now notice what it said. See, net, cut, and fill. So it's actually knows what's going on here. So if I take this little dot, right, I click on that dot, still in sketch mode, which is interesting. I drag it over, okay? And I'm going to take this one over here. Let's see, drag it back. So we can grab our fingers on that little guy and drag him. So notice we actually cut a little bit here and we filled a little bit over here. Let's check out what actually happened. Notice that it said we had a cut of 1,000 cubic feet and we had a fill of 519, so we're at a negative net. So pretty nifty little tool here. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. Now what we have is actually two sites. I'm going to go 3D. We have new and old. Now we can actually see each one. If I come down here, it says see new construction, show all work. I get down to the bottom. I'm going to say show existing, and notice that's the existing site. I'm going to come down here and say show new construction, and I'm going to say show complete. And you'll see a very subtle change there. So we have new and old. Now to make this even nicer, since it's been 3D, I'll come down here, I'm going to create two new views. New site, new, so we duplicate the view, duplicate, and another one. Duplicate the view, and duplicate. Now I'm going to take this guy, rename him to, let's say, new site. This is mostly for our visual aspects. And then we can take this, rename it to existing. E-X-I-S-T-A. There we go. Site. So existing site. Hit OK on that. So we got new site and existing site. Woohoo! Now I'm going to go back to new site and I'm going to make sure that it is set to new construction complete. That's the new site. Existing site, I go to that view and I'm going to say show. The phase would be existing and the phase filter would be show all work. There it is. So now switching between the views, I've got old and new. Now let's go back to our site plan. Now currently we're in new construction, so it says new construction. Now I'm going to grab this site and we want to verify that it's new. Now you probably wonder, well, how do I know which one's what, right? So let me try to grab this other one. Now I'll click here and you'll see it says new construction, and so it's kind of hard to know which one's what because we have two of these. So what we're going to do is actually name them. Now I'm going to go to 3D again. I'm going to go back to my, let's say, existing site. Now when I pick existing site, we're back in time. I'm going to give it a name, call it existing site. So we gave the actual physical element the name existing site. We gave the view an existing site. Now I'm going to go to new site and I click on this one. Notice it doesn't have a name because this is new. Okay, new site. So I actually have two physical items here that'll land on top of each other back in site plan. Now I can come down here and adjust the time. See, it says new construction show all. I'm going to say no, just show new. So the only thing it's showing is the new site. To verify that, when I click it, see, it says new site. So just kind of a checks and balances here to make sure things are right. I'm going to hit edit surface. Now let's say the owner wants this site pretty much flat because we're going to fill this with parking lot and buildings and all kind of good stuff. Now there's a hill here and kind of a dip here. We want to kind of balance that site out. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to delete, put a window in here, and it's a little crazy. Come in here, I'm going to delete all these points. Alright. Now some of these points here, I'll click on that. See, he's 10 foot tall. Let me say, well, you're actually going to be 5. And he drops down. Now I'm going to add some more points in. Going back to edit the surface, place a point. I'm going to say at 5 foot. So I'm going to kind of walk around the site. And what's happening is, you'll see we're actually flattening the site out. Hit escape a couple times, grab that point, verify where he is. He's 5. We could leave him or just delete him. So now we've got some crazy stuff going on here, and we may fill that later. Change that point, bring him up to, let's say, 3 foot. And you'll see it kind of blends that site out. So we can kind of adjust the points, get everything working out. If you want to kind of relay this area out, you could, but dragging points or editing points, you could actually delete these points in here and just redraw them correctly. So to do that, just grab them like so. Go ahead and just delete them. Now they're deleted, you may say, well, I'm going from 5 feet maybe down to 3 or 4 feet around here. So we can continue to place points to set it how you want to make it. So let's say I want to have 3 foot right around here. You can see how I can kind of set those points in. Bring 3 foot like so. Okay. Now looks like we got another point in there. We can go ahead and put a window around him, delete him out, and you'll see that starts to lay out. So we've re-graded the site the way we want it to be, and I hit finish. So now the big question is, what's the plus or minus on that site? Let's go to 3D again. there's a site looking flat, and that's the new site, right? Now let's go to new site. There's new site flat. There's existing site. So what we did was we blended them. Now if you wanted to get fancy with this, I can go to my 3D view, and you can actually turn them both on. Come down here and say, well, instead of show complete, let's show all work. Okay, you can see that's the red that's being removed. Okay, so as I move around, you can see that's being cut. You can see that's actually being filled in this area. So if you needed some pretty pictures, that would work. You can also change the colors if you don't like the colors. Now the final thing here is what do we have? I'll grab the new site. You'll notice that we're net cut fill a little on the high side there. So if you wanted to go around and make some adjustments, pull some of these back, we could maybe balance this site out depending on, again, what we're trying to do with the site. So that is a quick way to see what's happening, where we're coming from, where we're going. And the last thing we'll do is go back to existing site. That's what we have, and then new site. And then for the site plan itself, you could do the same thing. This here is the new site. If you wanted to show the existing site underneath it, we could come down here and say new, right? Let's come on down and say also, instead of just say show all. Now see both sites are one's on top, one's underneath. The line work does look a little weird. We'll go back up to where we started earlier, and we'll say don't use hidden lines, use, let's say, secondary contours. We hit OK on that, and you'll notice that we have an idea of what's actually happening. Maybe even try a wireframe so you can see what was there before and what's happening new. So there you go. That is how you do cut and fill in Revit. Hope you enjoyed it. Check us out on the web at thebimguys.com or therevitguys.com. Thank you.